Thanks be to God and Mcgi for another day of mass indoctrination. In today's video, I will just be doing a brief summary of everything Brother Eli said in the course of the teaching. We talked about the apparel that are commanded by God for His children. So we talked about that God has a commandment about what we are to wear, and that you are to clothe the inner man and the outer man also. The man is made up of two beings, the inner man and the outer man. And we said that the outward man or the outer man is the flesh of the body. It gets old and weak, while the inward man is strong because it is spiritual. We said that the outer man is temporal, while the inner man is permanent. That it is inside. We took a reading from Matthew 7 verse 15, where we talked about that there are some people who are humans outside, but inwardly there are beasts. We also talked about that if one of the ways to know you still have the inward man in you is if you feel delighted about the laws and the instructions of God. If you do not struggle to obey the laws and the instructions of God, it means that you have the inner man in you. We also talked about that someone who has the inner man in him will not beat his wife or rape his children or try to molest his daughter. That is a proof that you still have the inner man in you and that you're not a beast. I also say that if you hate the laws of God, it means you have the outward man in you, and if you have the fear of God, it means you have the inner man in you. That if you can relate with your neighbor, it means you still have the inner man in you. That we said the defiant ones are the ones that are without the inner man in them, and those ones are those that love darkness and hate the instructions of God because there's a beast in them. So we talked about adorning of the hair by women, and we talked about that women are prohibited to not to put on jewelries, that chemicals should be avoided because the skin has two functions, to excrete and to repel, but the skin also has absorbs, so most of those chemicals causes cancer to them. That is what we talked about, and we ended up by saying that too much decoration spoils beauty. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you. Thanks be to God.